Dzień dobry Państwu, Maksymilian Wysocki, witam serdecznie z Forum Ekonomicznego w Karpaczu. Naszym gościem jest pan Fryderyk Farosz, prezes grupy Veolia w Polsce.
Dzień dobry.
Dzień dobry. Państwo pozwolą, przełączymy się na angielski. Mr. President, many people are afraid that the ongoing transformation of the energy sector will mean that the costs, business costs, will rise. Does it have to be this way?
Yeah, well, I think I will talk mostly about district heating and municipal heat because this is our main activity. Really, I think it's the most important question. The ambitions of EU and Poland are extremely big for the next 10 to 30 years, let's say, and this obviously has a cost. Because you need to transform the sector and you need to invest, and it's a very significant effort. The Polish, I always make reference to the Polish chamber of the thermal activities, let's say IGCP. They assess the full cost of the transformation on the next 20 years, let's say, to 100 billion Polish zlotys, which is enormous compared to the available means, the wealth of the sector itself, let's say, today. So it has to be supported. On the other hand, EU has, in the New Deal, let's say, post-COVID program, has foreseen very big sums to do this transformation, and Poland also. So I believe it's possible. The main question will be how this transition will be just, which means how the cost will be borne by the different actors.
Well, the transformation to be just is perfectly the main question because, well, in economy and business, when the costs are rising, well, it ends up as the clients pay the bills larger. In this case, in Poland's case, we talk about a lot of investments that are needed. So basically, will the final clients pay the bills higher? Will they pay the higher bills?
Okay, so after the cost of the transformation, that's the main second question, let's say, and according to us, it has to be shared amongst all the actors, which is mostly the companies dealing in the sectors, but not alone. The public funding also, directly EU or through the Polish funding systems, which works quite well and already a long time, in fact. And at the end, a certain part has to be borne also by the customer, because this is also the way to trigger savings. Because today I don't see incentives in savings for the final clients. So all the topic is about sharing this cost so that it is just. But I think, again, the funds that are foreseen by EU are quite big. So the system may work. It's just a matter of, shaping it correctly. But again, I think Poland has a wide experience with all the funds like NFOŚ, WFOŚ, etc. So it's not a new thing. It's simply a bigger one, according to me, this time.
When we speak and talk about the energy transformation, most of the times it comes out that we talk about decarbonization solely. So the question is it a good angle of this discussion, and is it really all about the coal and carbon?
No, it's not all about the coal and the carbon, but let's say all the different member states have a different starting point, and Poland, we must admit, has a very specific starting point. The coal has been for a long time a national wealth, a national resource and independence of Poland. It was for years and decades a very big asset, of the Polish energy systems and economy. But on the other hand, it has a footprint in terms of carbon and CO2, which is about double, let's say, what the rest of the fossil fuels have. So it may not be true in general for all the EU countries, but when we see Poland, then this coal, which was a resource, has turned a bit to be a problem, and we should start everything at once, but going away from coal is one of the first things to be done because the weight is heavy. And this is the plan we push for in Veolia, for example, for Poland. We would like to exit from coal by 2030.
Well, I said and pointed out that maybe it's not always about coal, but I would want to ask one question about coal precisely. Even about 2 weeks ago, I've read an article in Le Monde that the author just wrote that it's hard to blame Poland because it's not easy to resignate from such an asset that Poland has as the coal. And looking at some crisis management, when times get hard, even Germans turn on the coal power plants if needed. So basically, maybe it's not about the coal, but it would be and will be for a long time.
Yes, well, again, I think the way I see it, the main regulations are coming from EU. EU sets the path, like Fit for 55, so 2030, 2050, the general path is set by EU. This being said, what seems to me difficult is to address in a way each country individually. And you named Germany. Germany was on nuclear a couple of years ago. They resigned from that, so something has had to come in place. The same story is with Poland, but only with coal. So in a way, all the debate has to be about how specific a country is. And this seems to me the biggest difficulty between Poland and EU today. I mean, I would think, I work in Poland, I live in Poland, so I know the topic, and it seems to me that EU has a hard time hearing the arguments supporting the fact that it could be slower or it could be more expensive, which I strongly believe. But it's a matter of communication. I hope they will succeed.
And going back to the question of it not being all about coal, not all about the coal, what are the other very important or crucial parts of the energy transformation, and which topics we should talk about and discuss, except from this talking about coal?
I will tell you what we believe in as Veolia in Poland for the next 10 years. We see gas, which is still a fossil fuel, but with a much lower carbon footprint as a transition fuel. I think the whole sector sees it like us in a way, you know. At once you cut 40%. Again, this is a topic with EU because EU sees gas as still as a fossil fuel. It's true, but it should be a transition to decarbonized gases, which are in the PEP 2040, the Polish PEP 2040, like biogas and hydrogen, which are in the plan for 2030 even. I think going to gas as a transition to decarbonized gas is a good path. This is the one we are following. And on top of that, I mean, we have a lots of different possibilities. One I want always to name is the final client saving, because a lot can still be done in all the countries and especially in Poland on saving the final use, I mean the demand side, so-called, by the client directly, which should never be forgotten and should probably, if not the first, at least be at the same path.
And if we talk about gas, you mentioned that it's important. So what are the Veolia's investments, as in the sector of gas?
Yes, the first part of our plan, the plan to 2030, is to go to gas for about half of the production. So, and we want to have those investments based on the market possibilities offered by the Polish system, let's say, namely the law on CHP, the law on cogeneration. I think this was a very good move that was done 3 years ago, I guess, and also the capacity market, which gives a good grounds, let's say, for safer grounds for investment. So gas is always a solution for, let's say, 50% of our systems. Then we have also biomass, which is a sustainable resource in Poland. Heat from different wastes is also coming quite fast in our systems. This is for the next 10 years, and after we will see, we are thinking of less developed at this stage solutions, but in the course of 30 years they may appear like large-scale heat pumps and things, let's say, that are not yet fully commercially available, but will be in the range of, in the scale of 30 years.
When we talk and think about the energy transformation, it seems that there is a huge part for state and the public sector and the public institutions. How they should engage in the energy transformation?
Yeah, I think like the funding public entities like PFR, for example, or well, I think this is already an ongoing story, as we said at the beginning. Poland benefits from EU funds already a long time and is quite well organized. And a big part of those funds are dedicated to transformation already more than 10 years, I think. Like probably almost 15 years. Now the scale is simply, if I may say, bigger, but the system already works. So institutions like PFR or the regional or national funds are ready from the conversation, or the bank like Bosch are ready from the conversation and discussions we have on this topic to invest along us. I mean, as I say very often, the task is so big in terms of resourcing, financial resources, that this is the way Veolia operates. We must blend the funding between public and private. So, but again, I think
at the time being, is it sufficient or not?
Well, today it is still the scale has changed a lot. So today it is still adapting. But I believe, yes, there is a chance. Again, the EU New Deal gives a wide part to the green transformation, and Poland also. So I guess there is a way forward. It's just a matter of time and organization, I think. It's not easy, but it's not impossible, I believe.
Thank you very much. Naszym gościem był pan Fryderyk Farosz, prezes grupy Veolia w Polsce. Thank you.
Dziękuję bardzo.
I dziękuję państwu. Życzę miłego dnia. Do widzenia.